Hello everyone and welcome to the Cineménage à Trois podcast. I'm your host Ash, also known as the proud owner of 2017's Justice League on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm joined here by Josh, also known as the Fast and Furious family fanatic, and Al, who is a Triple X superfan.
I am indeed.
Josh, you.
The Fast and Furious line has just done me in. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
the funny thing is, I've still not watched Triple X purely because you did buy me the PSP copy of it, and I don't own a PSP anymore. So,
but I wanted you to experience it in its full quality.
I will track down a WMD player at some point, and I will buy it.
Just borrow my PSP. I've still got mine.
Yeah.
This is already just gone off the
we're already just...
We're supposed to be introducing ourselves and we've just been talking about PSPs and fucking Triple X.
You know, you brought up the Triple X thing. I thought it was pertinent.
It was. But
who would like to go first?
I've got a couple of news segments that I'd like to bring up.
First of all, we've got to state that if we say anything at the same time, if any two of us say something at the same time, it is because we are three parts of the same entity.
Yeah.
And it is said that if all three of us says something at the same time, then the planets will align, the entity will re-emerge, and it has the power to move galaxies and turn the MCU into cinema.
It does.
I'm already swinging it again.
You're on fire.
I'm praying for that then. Maybe I'll actually enjoy one of their films.
Oh God. No, that's for later. We can't just go straight up bashing. Everyone's turned this off now.
I apologize. I jest.
He does jest.
I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think
but yeah.
Multiverse of Midness was film of the year, boys.
Yeah. But this is the first episode of this podcast, so we are just sort of trying to feel our way through things and work everything out. So bear with us, everyone, because it's new to us. We're scared. Indeed. And hopefully Craig would fucking pipe up this time.
Oh, you had to bring up Craig, didn't you?
Yeah, we have a recording bot in our Discord just to be safe, and
he's definitely he's taking all the outtakes.
He scares the shit out of us by
overly
saying that he's recording.
Yeah, he is just a man behind the bar. He is listening to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Should we just jump straight into discussing shit that's happened?
News.
Let's get right into the news.
So I got a story that I feel like Al especially will love.
Hmm?
So Square Enix have announced a new Cloud Strife figure. And it's $130, or you can buy an NFT edition for $160.
Woo! NFT!
Got them.
And
got there eventually.
Is this the way it's going?
I said eventually as if we haven't just started and we've already got to NFTs.
Aren't they doing digital pops as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally, I just don't like the idea of NFTs.
No. I mean,
like, just go buy a piece of art.
Bro, just right click,
right click
and save it. Like
right click, download image, and then what is the difference? Oh, but it's in the blockchain. Haha, I've still got your PNG. Fuck you.
Like the figure's quite nice. Like the Cloud Strife figure's quite nice, but like, do we really want to pay another $30 for a digital version?
An NFT.
Yeah, it's it's stupid.
But you own it.
Yeah, but so does everyone else who buys it.
But
no, it's not unique, is it?
It is, because it's uniquely minted in the blockchain.
Still, though, you're not going to be the only person in the world with a digital version of that figure.
Yeah, what does that mean? Uniquely minted in the blockchain.
Like numbers are. What do they mean?
I mean, I've played Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, there's a picture of it. That's nice.
That is a very nice figure.
That is really nice.
It is. It's a nice
the most unnewsworthy news story we have, I think.
Well, it gets better. It gets better. I promise.
It does get better.
I wanted to get the worst one out of the way.
I'm wait a sec.
Climbing on my laptop. Hold on, everyone.
I've right clicked. I've clicked save image. I now have the NFT of this Cloud Strife figure.
My guy didn't have to pay $160 for it.
He's done it. He's done it.
Done it. Guys, I did it for free.
Beat the system.
representatives of Square just going to turn up at your door now, you son of a bitch.
FBI, open up!
Who would they send? I would like to know. Don't stand on the laptop, dog.
That is a question. Who would they send? Cloud Strife himself.
Cloud Strife himself.
And the rest of
There's like a
Avalanche.
manifestation of him, like.
But then again, I feel like, because Avalanche are like eco-terrorists, so I feel like they'd be like anti-NFT, because
Yeah, I would have thought so, because then, well,
NFTs
I don't know.
really, NFTs are really bad for the environment.
Yeah, I don't know if they still are, because they were, but from what I know, they are. Which is, they would be against that.
This is...
It's going to be a coup. No,
This was a real riveting news story.
It really was. We ended up just ranting about NFTs.
The only reason I mentioned it was because, like, I thought it was worth just shitting on NFTs for a bit.
It was.
Well,
I could always, spin this into the news story that I was going to bring about how Microsoft have gone ahead and just banned the use of blockchain technology in Minecraft. So now all those lovely people selling Minecraft NFTs, Minecraft NFT worlds and all that stuff, they just can't anymore.
That's good. I like that. I like that.
Microsoft just seem to be for the people lately. Like, they do a lot of like very consumer friendly moves.
Oh, one of the big things is Discord.
That goes into our next story. As a PlayStation fan, pain.
You're about to. I sit here and laugh as an Xbox fan, but as you asked the other day, do I play anything on my Xbox other than Destiny? No, I don't.
No, you really
I just don't feel like
Xbox
has anything to offer, personally. For me, anyway.
It's just it's very consumer friendly.
It is.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But other than that, like, there's not much going on at the moment.
They do keep making moves though, like towards more consumer friendliness, and like it's just good stuff from them all around. I think.
I think we're slowly approaching the coveted open market of video games.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
The walls are starting to come down.
The console was officially dead anyway, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I remember when I was growing up, I had my PS3. You had 360 fans, and like you'd have full blown arguments, and
I was a 360 fan.
I've always been PlayStation, but like now it's like you got a Series X, cool. You got a PS5, cool. Like who cares?
You got a Nintendo Switch, go out and touch some grass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Every Nintendo fan just tuned out.
They're gone.
We've got the MCU fans.
Have a wonderful time.
We're left for the cream of the crop right now, guys.
We're left with the elevated being spice.
Oh no, don't. We're not going there.
How do we get rid of the Star Wars fans? That's the real question.
Kenobi was a good show.
Oh god. Are we just gonna talk about that image we saw of that person just railing on Simon Pegg because he said,
"Oh yeah,
Star Wars fans are toxic as hell."
The tweet about Simon Pegg where he did that interview where he was asked who he thought the most toxic fan base was, and he said Star Wars fans. And then he went on to apologize for all of the things he said about the prequels and acknowledge that there was a person behind it, and that at the time it felt appropriate.
They're very funny. Like you can tell that he is not supposed to be taken seriously in the light of Spaced.
And now he's looked back on it and he feels bad about it and said. And then the great tweet of Simon Pegg is named appropriately. He's always been a bitch and always will be a bitch in response to calling Star Wars fans toxic.
I mean, I love Star Wars, but like he's not wrong.
It's not just wrong. Proving his point as well.
Yeah, like.
But that also brings me to an image I have. It says, if Superman and Lois had sex, she wouldn't survive it. You fool! Why do you think she pegs him? That is.
Did you bring the Simon Pegg thing up just so you could talk about Lois?
But I'm just. That's just my genius comedic timing.
No,
Superman getting pegged is not a thought I'd have on a Thursday afternoon, but I'm not gonna lie.
I am now genuinely sat here, and nothing will convince me otherwise that you set that up just so you could make that pegging joke.
Really did.
He's 3 moves ahead, isn't he?
Yes.
I am an elevated being.
Oh. Yeah.
Please stop. So I've got another story that I don't really like the sound of. The new Hercules movie is going to have a modern spin.
I don't like that. I don't like modern spin.
Because like modern people, you've got the gym bros, and then you've got like the mandem.
Well,
Is Hercules going to be a mandem?
Is Hercules going to be a gym bro or a mandem? That's the real question.
Is he going to walk up, be a man's bugging a lie?
The thing is, how many people just listen to the statement mandem and just don't know what that means?
Yeah. It's better you don't.
I don't think I truly know what it means.
I don't think I'm qualified to explain what it means.
No, we ain't from them ends.
The thing is, the Disney Hercules was supposed to be like a kind of like a sports film about like an athlete. That's basically what I was telling. And Hercules isn't the Greek hero, and I will keep saying this forever. Heracles is the Greek hero. Hercules is the Roman hero.
What about the Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I haven't seen that one.
That came out.
I have, and I saw it, and I was just like, no, not today.
I want to guess maybe 2014 because I don't actually know when it came out.
That sounds right to me.
It came out at.
Oh my god! I was actually right.
You did invent cinema, though. To be fair, so
I did invent cinema. Yeah. Oh my god! Ian McShane is in that movie.
Also, to go back to the new Hercules movie, the Russo brothers are producing.
Okay. I do like the fact that the Russos are trying to move away from
they're trying to get
MCU roots.
They're trying to get back into it,
but people just don't let them go.
I won't lie and say I've seen anything they've done other than like Marvel.
Well,
but
the Grey Man that came out recently. It hasn't been getting great reviews.
Has it not?
Apparently, no. It came. It was like a limit, like in some theaters and like cinemas and stuff. But
Chris Evans has a sexy little mustache in it.
He does. Is it as sexy as Henry Cavill's mustache though?
It's not. No, but
no. There you go then.
Are we talking actual mustache or CGI'd off mustache in Justice League?
I mean, that's just sexy. Like, come on.
Yeah, the CGI bottom half of his face is just irresistible.
I'd kiss that CGI lip.
Is this guy still bothering you?
Dostoevsky. Oh god.
Booyah.
We have completely lost our train of thought now. This is going to happen a lot.
Oh, we've got one more. We've got one more news story, and it's this. I think this is the big one. This is the big news story.
Go on.
That Netflix has lost 1 million subscribers in the last quarter.
Well,
amongst other things, but
I'm not surprised.
Did you all see that? Because you've mentioned it in the notes, but the password sharing tier and the ad support. Did you see how this works?
I haven't explicitly seen it, but I've heard of it.
You can trial it. It's if you sign in out of your house, I think it works for a certain amount of days, and then it locks the account in the location that isn't your house, and then you can pay to have the account unlocked in that location.
That's actually scuffed.
So, like,
that's terrible.
Immediately, my mind goes to Ash for that. Like, Ash, obviously, he sleeps down his girlfriend's house. He sleeps in his own house.
Yeah.
If he wanted to use his own Netflix, he can't do that.
Well, he could have it for, I think it's maybe a week.
Yeah, that's right. I'm cool. I have a girlfriend.
Could have it for a week, maybe for free.
Oh yeah, great. That's
citation needed, and then after that week, Netflix are going to lock his account down his girlfriend's house.
Make me pay,
and then make you pay to use it.
And then they wonder why they're losing subscribers.
Well, they also cancel so many of their original series and don't let them continue when people want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And people obviously are going to get angry and just think it's not worth it. The only thing people watch on there really now is Stranger Things, and that's not coming back for a good while.
Be 2024, I think.
Like when you look at the alternatives,
and someone who has actually watched Stranger Things, being the only one here who's watched it, I believe.
I've watched the first 2 seasons.
I watched like 4 episodes of season 1, and I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
New season is pretty good. I still think should have been 1 season. I think that they should just contained it to a nice little story, nice little contained story, because season 1 is very, very good.
Season 1 is near perfect. It's
peak television.
It is. But the thing is, you have that like chunk of Stranger Things, and then what are people going to stay to watch?
Um,
Is the B movie on Netflix?
It might be.
You like
Then
jazz.
that's the only reason I'd keep
'Cause-
Netflix.
Seinfeld is on there still.
What do you guys actually watch on Netflix?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I think
Like I said, Stranger Things was the last thing I watched because it just came out. But
I'm looking at my continue watching at the moment, and like apart, I literally watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, I watch Always Sunny on there.
Like that's
I
it.
still need to
I watch
watch
2
Always
shows.
Sunny.
I rewatch Always Sunny on there. I was watching Titans because that's on there.
Community.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
do
the
watch
only-
Community now and again. To be fair,
That's like the only thing I will regularly watch.
I feel like
Riverdale.
sitcoms are pretty much the only thing I watch on there.
Yeah. Did you
Riverdale.
just say Riverdale?
I did just say Riverdale.
Oh,
I'm a bit behind at the moment, but Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
peak cinema.
So
Martin Scorsese weeps.
he does.
He does.
When are they going to implement their ad support tier and their password sharing tier then?
I don't know actually.
Because I love how like Netflix sort of transitioned from like basically Blockbuster but with deliveries.
Yeah,
They used to deliver DVDs to you that you rented and stuff. Then
they did.
They did, and then they transitioned to a streaming service, which was
they were like one of the first big streaming services.
the big competition to cable. You know,
Well, the thing is, streaming services are going to be the death of cable television.
Oh, 100%.
But Netflix is kind of just becoming cable television again, though.
Like I watch YouTube more than I watch normal television.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the amount I watch YouTube. It's basically my new TV now, and it's basically free as long as I have an internet connection.
I think
the cool thing is, go on.
I think I'm the only one out of the three of us that kind of just watches TV just regularly.
I don't even watch TV. I'm not gonna.
I watch a lot of television.
You do watch a lot of television.
Yeah, I do.
I was gonna say, like with YouTube, I watch TV on YouTube. So like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares and stuff. I watch it on YouTube. Or like what's the other one? Like Porn Stars and stuff like that.
Not
PAWN. I'll give you $5.
I mean, that doesn't clarify things very much, does it?
No.
That could just be prostitution.
Something you can say in a pawn shop and on a pawn shoot. low budget process. Oh my god, I can't even speak.
You're really struggling there, isn't it?
Editor, cut that.
Cut that. I am the editor. I decide.
He's keeping it all in, baby.
But that was the last bit of big stuff, wasn't it? Well, actually,
we do have the former EA CEO.
Oh.
We do have that if we want to.
Gone and said.
John, well, he's the Unity CEO as well. John Riccitiello. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. I might have butchered that, but he's apologized for calling devs not focusing on monetization the biggest fucking idiots.
But he has apologized for that.
He's apologized for a statement he probably shouldn't have made in the first place.
No, but the fact that he was a former EA CEO it really shows.
Buy some packs.
I mean, Did I hear loot box?
I literally loaded up FIFA last night, right, for a few games of offline FIFA, just, the career mode. And before I even got into the game, they're like, play Ultimate Team, buy packs. And it's like, bro, really? Just let me carry on my career mode of Wrexham winning everything.
Bro. Do you remember when they made the statement about people not wanting to play single player games?
Yeah, and then they cancelled the Star Wars game.
Then they brought out a single-player Star Wars game, and it did incredibly well.
Well, they also
Fallen Order did.
They also did that tweet recently. She's a 10, but she only plays single-player games.
Yeah, that
tone deaf.
Did you hear about like behind the scenes what they tried to do to fix that?
No.
They suggested that like publishers publishing single-player games commented on that tweet to dunk on the tweet and stuff, but then they decided against it because they didn't want to perpetuate the idea that EA studios that are published under EA hate EA.
That's perfect.
It was just the most ridiculous thing I've seen. It was just like a social media nightmare happening in real time.
That does seem ridiculous.
So they did just have to decide that, we've got to apologize for this one.
Yeah, that's a lot of Twitters like in the past month.
It's just
I've had what one was it? Was it like Radio Shack or something?
Oh no!
We're not bringing up.
We're not completely off on one.
We're not breaking up Radio Shack. We can't.
What was the actual tweet again? I forget.
Oh god!
I just remember it causing a massive stir.
I'm gonna see if I can find it now. Bear with me.
There's a lot of sexy stuff, wasn't it?
While we try and find that, though, in other news with EA, Skate 4 is now a free-to-play game.
And it's just called Skate.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it free to play? Because
Why?
Do you want a monster sticker on your skateboard? Give me $100, please.
So I found some of the Radio Shack tweets.
Oh, there's more than one. There's more than one.
Yeah, there's mental.
Yeah, there were a few.
It's mental how many there are, and one of them is squirters are always nice, but honestly, it looks nicer when she a creamer.
Oh, I haven't read that one. I didn't read that. Oh no!
If you find a squirter, marry her. To quote what Alex said a few weeks ago to me, if you could just orgasm without pissing all over my bed, I'd appreciate it.
A man of taste, as you can tell. I think I saw the. I think I saw the one that was like, due to inflation, 6 inches is now 8 inches or something like that.
Oh, it's
we big boys,
wild.
we big.
It's wild. It is wild.
That man 100% has to. All women, sorry, has to have been fired.
Surely they didn't get away with that.
Well, the last tweet from that was mental by them was 5 days ago, I think.
5 days ago.
Yeah, it was one that said, after I bless her with 3 to 4 strokes and order the Uber, and it's the Radio Shack sign, but only adios is lit up.
Oh no, that's pretty good. I like that one. That was pretty clever.
Yeah, they're not paying this social media person enough, but also
no, definitely not.
I just sent a photo to you so you can see what I mean. But it's peak comedy. It is.
Adios. It is comedy at its peak.
Well, I believe that's the news.
That is the news. But we can also talk about what George R. R. Martin said.
Oh, yeah, that he would like to remain in control of Game of Thrones and not end up like Stan Lee with Marvel. Because according to George R. R. Martin, who I don't really know if he knew much about the situation, but he's probably not far off the bat, is saying that he had no power, no influence, just a friendly person they brought to conventions and who did cameos. To be sidelined on the world you created, that would be tough.
Yeah, I mean,
poor old Stan.
He's probably not far off. I don't want to assume, but it did seem that way.
Stan kind of just got wheeled out at conventions, and he was just in the films because the obligatory Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, it's fan service, wasn't it? That
yeah,
the man who created it all was reduced to nothing basically by Marvel.
If you want to take that point even further, the fact that Disney now have a copyright on Stan Lee as a person,
so
they can. We're coming full circle here, so they can make NFTs out of him. It's just wild. How do we live? How do we live in a society where a big company has a
society?
No.
Just we live.
You don't want to be. If you don't want to be,
we do just live. But we do just live in a world where probably the biggest company on the planet has a copyright on a dead man.
Yeah, it's such a.
I don't know why it's not a bigger thing though. Like, they're literally licensing a corpse, and people are like, "Yeah, I see no problem with this."
Yeah,
man's dead.
When they used his Twitter account to promote NFTs,
yeah,
that was wild.
It's like how Disney keep using CGI to bring back dead people as well.
They do keep doing that.
I hate it.
It's just odd.
I'm gonna bring up a tweet I saw earlier, right? And I haven't shown it to you two, but essentially it said, recasting an actor with passion for the role over a lifeless corpse, and it compared Brandon Routh's Superman to obviously the deepfake of Luke in Mando and Boba,
Mm.
And like, while obviously Mark Hamill will always be Luke, and like, you know, I love Luke Skywalker, I always will. Just please recast him at this point, because I don't want an uncanny valley sense when I watch him. Sebastian Stan.
Exactly.
Because the point is with Luke, though, is the fact that it's not him recording any lines for it. It's not his actual current face. He is just there.
He's a shell.
He's just there on set.
Because I know on season 2 of Mandalorian, he was on set. Mark Hamill.
I think he was there for Boba Fett as well.
Was he there for Boba Fett? Okay,
but he's there. There's none of the dialogue as him because
none of the dialogue is
him. Recycled, isn't it, through like an AI thing?
Yeah, they use an AI.
It's the same thing they've done with James Earl Jones for Obi-Wan.
That blew my mind. That did.
It's a lot less noticeable with James Earl Jones.
That really did blow my mind. It just seems scummy though when like you said, they've probably paid James Earl Jones substantially less for like his own voice.
Just like he's not in the suit anyway.
No.
Like what was really the point of putting him in the credits? Because he's not in the suit, and you didn't actually get him, on board to do the voice. You just ran it through an AI software, and it just made lines.
It's bizarre. They definitely did need to cut some sort of cost.
It's the biggest company in the world. They don't like.
This is nicely segueing into the next.
Yeah, it is.
Next segment, which would have been the state of film, because it's just the state of film just seems to be bash on Disney because they're doing pretty much everything wrong.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's necessarily bash on Disney, because like we give credit where credit's due. Like I feel like, especially with Star Wars recently, for the most part, it's been pretty solid.
The actual content they've been putting out, it's pretty good.
Disney Plus, like for me at least, it's levels above any other streaming service.
Mm-hmm. It's like we bash on Disney, but Chippendale. I really enjoyed Chippendale.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I know it wasn't exactly the best humor, but it was fun. It was entertaining. I knew what it was.
But you look at it, but you look at every good thing that they do, and then you look at the fact that Thor: Love and Thunder was cut to be under 2 hours, so it could get more playtime in theaters, so it could make more money.
Which is not good. Remember when we used to have films that were there to tell a story and not to well, they would be there to make money, but they'd be telling a story at the same time.
Yeah, but the service, it wasn't at the cost of literal runtime of the film.
No.
Or, the fact that Multiverse of Madness on opening weekend on Times Square, if you took a screenshot of the showtimes, you couldn't get all of the showtimes on one page.
That's...
I can't exactly remember, but I think there was a showtime about every 5 or 10 minutes for that film.
5 or 10? What the hell?
That's just ridiculous.
I'm thinking now, like, before Phase 4, right? As much as I don't think majority of the MCU films were good, they served a purpose and they had some sort of structure and coherent.
Yeah, I feel Phase 3 you could sort of see it creeping in.
Yeah, like Endgame especially. Like I don't think Endgame's a good film, but it's fan service, isn't it? It's an event. What did you say the other day, Al?
Well, that I can't give Endgame a numbered score because it's not a film.
Yeah, it's an event, isn't it?
It's an event.
Yeah,
you can't score that movie fairly because you have to have watched 10 years worth of movies to properly appreciate it.
I know we'll be called like haters and stuff, right? It's not that. It's we just want good films. We love superheroes. We love superhero media, and we just want it to be better.
I like the last 40 minutes of Multiverse of Madness a lot.
Yes,
I did watch the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, you can tell that's the film that Sam Raimi really wanted to make.
Yeah, I love Sam Raimi as well.
You
really
do.
See his.
You're like the resident Sam Raimi fan.
Groovy.
No,
when he got announced. Yeah, when he got announced as the director, though, I was pretty hyped. I was like, I fucking love Sam Raimi. Okay, like, give me this film. And like I was really hyped for it, and then as the trailer started dropping, I was like, But
that was the thing. It was always marketed as the MCU's first horror movie.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't scary. None of the trailers were horror. Like
there was like a few scenes where you could be like, maybe that could be.
I'm quaking. I'm quaking in my boots right now.
It wasn't a horror film, a horror film in the MCU, an actual full-on horror film. I think would be really interesting.
Also, some of the CGI in that film don't look good.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part,
that third eye looks weird.
The third eye, yeah, that's the thing I have a problem with. I think for the most part, it's the color grading and that, but you can't blame the VFX artist because
to bring that up again, Love and Thunder looks like shit.
I've said this numerous times as well, but I just can't look at Doctor Strange in that film because it looks like Benedict Cumberbatch is wearing a wig through the entire film, and I don't know if he is. But like, you look at a photo from him from that film, and his hair just does not look natural.
I'm not going to be able to unsee that if I ever see a shot of that film again.
Yeah, that's why I'm not
literally.
Looking at it now.
I'm literally grabbing a photo for you now.
No,
like, he doesn't. It doesn't look right.
But to bring it back, because I just said that Thor: Love and Thunder looked shit, and to bring it back to what you were saying, Ash, it's that no, it's not the VFX houses' fault because when you triple your output for a year just like that.
Yeah, the amount of crunch that they are going to have to be doing, because VFX takes time and money, and if they're doing all of this for all of these different movies, I know there are multiple VFX houses that work on each thing, but that's still a lot of work to do.
To literally triple your output.
Considering how much of a break are we getting between Miss Marvel and She-Hulk now?
She-Hulk's out next month, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's about a month break.
And then you've got to remember that, I think it might have been Kevin Feige, it might have been Bob Iger, but one of them said, and this was last year, and I don't know if the sentiment has continued into this year, is that there won't be a month on Disney Plus without new content.
Which is crazy. It's good, but at the same time, I don't want content from.
Yeah, it's good for the consumer.
But it's bad for the VFX houses and
it's bad for
people that are working on the films.
But
we've got Black Panther apparently dropping in November as well.
We haven't seen a thing from it except for leaked.
Take that with a grain of salt because it says November, but I can't see it coming out in November.
Well, no, it will come out in November because Disney will look at everyone on that film and they'll be like, "Fuck you if you want to go home and see your family and spend time with them. We need to get the new Black Panther movie out." Haha.
Is anyone hyped for it?
No.
I mean, there should have just been a lot more communication going forward. They should have actually taken a definitive stance on what they were doing with Chadwick Boseman, and we should know about that now before the film comes out.
Yes.
Personally, I mean, rather than he should have been recasted.
Yeah, I agree.
Mean, as much as he obviously is gonna be part of that role forever now. Mm-hmm. We've got these multiverse stories.
Yeah.
We could just use that. It's not that we're forgetting him because he was the first Black Panther in the MCU, and he's still going to hold a place in all of our hearts as the first Black Panther in the MCU. That role,
obviously,
putting a controversial opinion out into the world, though, I don't like the first one, and
I don't think that's controversial, though.
No, I like him in Civil War. I really like him in Civil War.
Yeah, it is outside of this group.
No, but I don't think it is though.
Because very hit and miss. It depends who you're talking to.
It's a very jarring film to watch as well, especially the final act.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell the VFX artists were rushed for that shot.
That train, that mine train scene is it looks god awful.
And I think that's a prime example to go into talking about physical stuff versus CGI. Practical effects is just. It's just better in most scenarios.
It depends. If you really cannot pull something off with practical, then yes, go with CG. But practical is always going to feel more real because it is real. It is.
I'm also talking about the suits anyway.
The suits, yes.
Both the suits are CGI, aren't they, in Black Panther?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I hate the redesign they did.
The redesign suit's awful.
I hate that suit.
What did we say the other day? Iron Man suits hasn't looked good since Age of Ultron?
I said the Mark 7, which was Avengers.
I said Iron Man 3 because the Mark 42 and all the different unique suits he has.
I think then we talked about it and we pushed it up a bit to Iron Man 3.
It's just so overly designed, and I feel like that's a big issue with Marvel suits. Is that
he becomes very smooth.
He does get smoother and smoother. I know it's more comic accurate, but sometimes it just makes it look a bit flat.
To get that meme up again, but it's comic accurate. Yeah, those comics suck. It's just Dr. Manhattan floating there, like.
Oh,
but it's
God.
true. Sometimes comic accuracy isn't necessarily the right way to do things.
An actual suit, like obviously with Iron Man suits, it's very hard to do an actual suit. We can understand why they use CGI and stuff for things like that. They tried to make a real suit for the first Iron Man. They tried it, it didn't work out, so they went to CG.
Bits of the suit is still real though.
Yeah, bits of it are, but they've shown that it's really not a good way to do it practical because you can't do the things you want to do with the suit.
No.
But now they've got helmets that are CG. I'm pointing the finger at Love and Thunder for this one because those trailers. There's like one shot I thought it looks like she's wearing a helmet, and then the rest of them it looks like none of them are wearing a helmet. It looks really weird, and again, they're probably just pushing the VFX artist. But just make a helmet. You've got so much money to do it. You were gonna make your money back. It's guaranteed.
Talking about the effects in Love and Thunder, just with that video of Tessa Thompson and Taika Waititi making fun of the effects. And I know the man directed the film and he wasn't responsible for actually making the VFX, but my brother in Christ, you directed the movie.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's such a
it's your film. Why are you sat there on like press release tours like bashing it?
It's such a strange way of looking at your own movie that you want to promote, but it shows that when directors are now coming onto these films, it doesn't seem like they're giving that much of a shit.
No, it's a paycheck, isn't it?
Because at the end of the day, when they get brought on, the MCU has got this plan laid out, which is fine. It's fine to have that plan, but it really does have a detrimental effect on the creative control a director has over their own film. Like when Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, Sam Raimi, the last half of that film felt more like a Sam Raimi film. But for a lot of it, it felt really odd. It didn't feel like him.
Yeah, but also, like, you can see where Edgar Wright was still part of Ant-Man by watching it. Like, some of it, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, you could see the parts where, like, they got that from Edgar Wright. But he left because they were trying to tell him what to do, and Edgar Wright is very much... He does seem like he goes with his own thing. He's a very creative director, if you look at any of his films.
Yeah, 100%.
And when they're telling him what to do, it doesn't work out.
Very much as well, though, is that like there are probably only a handful of instances where you can tell that a director has worked on these films and that they're not just all the same.
I know we don't want to talk about him because he's bad bloke, but Joss Whedon, you could tell that's his sort of dialogue in the Avengers.
Yeah,
it's very much Joss Whedon dialogue. Obviously, Joss Whedon, bad bloke, bad man, terrible person,
awful, actual trash fire human being, like
Jerkman Joss, like. But you could tell when that was coming through. Like again, I know Thor has a really weird directing style, Kenneth Branagh, but you could tell it's a
Dutch angles.
But you could tell it's his. You could tell there's a director behind this.
My whole life exists in 45 degree after that film.
It's like you could tell with Ragnarok, Taika Waititi's style with that.
Yeah.
But then when I've been looking at Love and Thunder, I haven't seen Love and Thunder. We're going to preface this with we haven't seen Love and Thunder, but what we can tell is that people aren't liking it as much as Ragnarok. It's probably because it has to fall into line with
none of us were particularly interested in seeing it in the cinema.
I've made my standpoint very clear, though. Like, I'm not really interested in anything MCU until Fantastic Four come out.
Well, I read a tweet.
X-Men.
I read a tweet earlier, and it was just like watching Phase 4 just feels like doing all of the side quests after you've beaten the final boss.
Yes.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Like,
it does just feel kind of like we're meandering about.
We finished the big story now. Why are we still here?
Yes, and all the series seem to be, we're going to make this 6 to 8 episodes, and then there's like 2 episodes that are just faffing about.
Yeah, fluff episodes for 2 episodes.
I can't comment on this because I haven't seen any of the shows because I just don't care.
In a 6 episode series as well, you don't need fluff.
Maybe they listened to James Cameron. Maybe they thought, it's all right to go pee during my film.
It's all right to go pee during my
just
3-hour movie.
Can we send that dude back to the bottom of the fucking ocean and leave him
back in
there,
his
please?
submarine.
Like, fuck me, I hate him so much.
Just go back in your submarine and just stay there.
Fuck off, just go away.
Just do a reverse George Miller, and instead of making all of your films in a desert, just go to the bottom of the ocean and just make all your films there for the rest of your life.
Has anyone checked on George Miller?
I don't think so.
Because, that man's been in the desert for a while.
Some shots came out, from that film, but I don't think he was in any of those pictures.
Oh God! Oh no!
Is it just gonna come out he accidentally died because he's an old man and he's in the desert?
Someone else has just been making Furiosa for the last year.
Give it about 200 years, and we'll have adventure films where they go and find the body of George Miller. And the hidden the film itself.
If we give it 200 years, George R.R. Martin might have actually concluded Game of Thrones by then.
Maybe, but that's a bit optimistic, isn't it?
That is wishful thinking.
Do you know how James Cameron done the Search of Atlantis documentary?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think in 200 years it's going to be his great however relative searching for his body at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, but searching for his submarine.
The problem with finding Atlantis is that Homer told us where it was.
I'll go again into this, but yes, he did tell us where it was. He told us everything about Atlantis, told us even where it was, and it's not there.
But it was just an excuse for him, wasn't it? To just go back to the bottom of the ocean. Well, no, but he didn't even go to the bottom of the ocean. He sat in a yacht and FaceTimed the divers. I hate him. Fuck him. I hate him.
What's to say all the water in there was not CG? Because he's clearly good at CG water.
Can we fucking not?
It's good looking water.
Yeah, but water's real.
Water exists.
But the problem is, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. If you've got a VFX character interacting with water, it doesn't look right. It does not look right. You need to have because
we just pushed Sam Worthington in a wheelchair into a swimming pool. That's the film, everybody. That's the movie. It's just me. I walk onto the Avatar set. I grab Sam Worthington in his wheelchair. I just wheel him off into a swimming pool, and that's the whole movie.
I can't be arsed.
That's it. You've got
That's
it.
it.
You've got it. Avatar 2. What's Avatar 3? Are we just gonna strap into a rocket or something?
I don't want to think that there's going to be 5 of those films.
It's crazy to think that his entire career now is just Avatar.
Cinematic universes have ruined cinema.
They really...
They have.
I'd like to say they've ruined it, but at the same time, Top Gun Maverick has shown us that,
I can't. Can I, in good conscience, count Top Gun Maverick as a cinematic universe?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel. It showed that, Top Gun Maverick has shown that people still want to see films, not just cinematic universe.
Well, I'm going to bring a point across here as the resident DC fan.
Yep.
I was so excited for the Snyder Cut, and after the Snyder Cut now, just bin the shared universe off. I just don't care anymore.
I prefer their individual stories that they tell rather than their built-up universe.
The Batman, I'm sorry, I can't look at films the same anymore.
Literally the best superhero film that's come out in the last decade.
Say what you want about that film, but it's just a masterpiece. It's just perfection. Yeah. It's Batman.
And we talk about the directors not having creative control, they literally gave James Gunn complete creative control on the Suicide Squad. And look how that turned out. That was a brilliant film. I loved the Suicide Squad.
And then he continues it over to Peacemaker
and still
just make somehow the most developed character in the DEU, fucking John Cena in a toilet bowl helmet.
Oh, they've also changed the face of the hot toy. They've added an extra face of him with a neutral face.
He's not just gurning.
Yes, they
might just have to buy it now.
With creative control, though, there could be too much in the other way. You look at the Snyder Cut, that film could be 3 hours. And while I think it's one of the best superhero films made, it doesn't need to be 4 hours, and there's a lot of shit in that film.
The reason why is because he had all those shots, and he was like, people want to see my vision, so I'm just going to chuck everything in there.
I do think they should have released they should have released like a 3-hour cut, and also with like the physical release or like the digital, whatever, however you buy your films, or illegally you stream them. I don't judge. Like fuck the film industry, am I right? Like
we can't promote that on a podcast.
Yeah, but when you got fucking dickheads like Disney coming around and Netflix charging for another fucking house, fuck them, I don't care. Do you mean
this man is one thing of a film podcast, and he just said go and pirate your movies.
I don't care, but at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, they're multi-billion-dollar corporations for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm not saying go and pirate local indie films. Like, do you know what I mean?
Disney's not your friend.
No, neither is like fucking Warner Brothers. Fuck them both.
Exactly. They're not.
I don't care. But like, going back to what I was saying, like, just they should have released like a 3-hour cut, a theatrical cut, and then they should have like, for those who wanted it, on the same thing. Do you know, like they done with the BVS home release where they had the 2.5 hour and the 3 hour?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just put the 4-hour cut there, because like a 3-hour cut is more digestible.
Yes, and the thing is, there were like 3 scenes in that film that were basically just the same scenes.
I don't need Icelandic women singing and sniffing Aquaman's fish jumper.
Yeah, it is just gonna smell like fish.
Dude,
Arthur Curry, I hear you talk to fish.
God.
And then, yeah, as you were saying, there are just every scene where Steppenwolf explains his plan to Darkseid. It's the same scene.
It is just the same scene. I have found a box.
One of them basically includes the same dialogue.
Yes, it's I have found a box. Okay, go and find the rest. I have found another box. Okay, go and find the other one. I have found a box, and then Darkseid. You see Darkseid.
It's very old news, but do you guys remember when Warner Brothers cancelled New Gods or whatever it was?
Yes, that annoyed me.
They blamed Zack Snyder for putting Darkseid in their film.
It's like one of the biggest.
Yeah. I know we shit on the MCU, but how many appearances did Thanos get before?
A lot.
He had quite a few, didn't he?
Not like massive appearances.
But he was there. And Darkseid's thing is a cameo, essentially, isn't it?
In terms of actual appearance, like literal his appearance as well, he does look very different every time he shows up in the MCU.
He really does, doesn't he?
Apart from Infinity War and Endgame, they're very similar. Apart from, the charred arm, and then the lack of head after, Thor cut it off.
Sometimes he's pink, sometimes he's blue. Sometimes he's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's in a chair.
Who are we to judge?
Most of the time he's in a chair.
It's just Josh Brolin in a chair.
I mean, for most of the cinematic universe, he's in a chair.
He's still a class villain, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Infinity War is really
nice. We can be nice.
Infinity War's a really good film. I can score that one.
I'd probably 4.5, 5, probably 4.5, 5.
If I was giving it
range.
If I was giving it out of 10, it'd probably be like 8.5, 9. Yeah.
Definitely knew what it was doing. It knew
and I like
where
the
it was going.
It's a good film.
Like, villain wins.
I
How
do like
often you get that in a superhero film.
I do kind of like to see my heroes lose.
Yeah, because then it shows that these heroes do lose, and they're not completely invulnerable to everything. Exactly. And they do have to push through these problems and rise to the occasion and do things that they may not like, but they have to do it to beat the bad guy.
Speaking of superheroes, I feel like this is a perfect time to go on to our next segment.
Fancastic Four!
Oh, God.
So we wanted to do this before Comic-Con, just in case.
I knew the segment was coming, but I didn't know that's how he was going to introduce it.
Obviously, with SDCC, we may get news of Fantastic Forecast. We all seem to think it's coming at D23.
Yeah,
but we didn't really want to risk it because we don't really have many brain cells left. We spent them all making this segment.
We do. If the thing is, if we waited and it was at SDCC, we'd all have egg on our face and we wouldn't have a segment anymore. So
I like egg.
Like the true professionals we are, as you can evidently tell.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here we go. So
the Fancastic
we've done a few fancasts for Fantastic Four, if that's not evident.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one for Reed Richards, and we've already established that we might all have it.
Yeah. Well, we hive-minded again, didn't we, all in the creative process, and
I wasn't there, but I've probably thought of the same one.
So I'm just going to say him right now.
Reed
Richards, Henry
Cavill.
Cavill. Henry Cavill is Reed Richards.
I mean, is he pretty buff?
Was he on your list?
He wasn't actually. I didn't
mind
this. The entity is not arising, and we are not making the MCU cinema yet.
Also, I should explain that this isn't our definitive list. We've picked 3. Well, I've picked 3 people per character.
I couldn't think of a Johnny because everyone was taking my picks for Johnny.
There's a definitive final casting, which none of us know each other's definitive one. So
my definitive one is missing 2 people, but I will say.
Bro, you had almost a week.
Yeah, but you will understand why I struggled to find the other 2 people in.
I couldn't think of 2 people, but he had enough time to bloody watch full episodes of stuff that we needed for this. Like,
it was for this, wasn't it?
You
do your homework the night before.
As I've said, the professionals that we evidently are. So, Henry Cavill's Reed Richards. That's on 2 of our lists. Necessarily, I don't think he's a particularly good choice for the role.
What was your reasoning, Al, for Henry Cavill?
Just a bloke, and he kind of looks the part. Give him some silver wingtips, and
he is just a bloke.
This man invented cinema, like.
Well, what do you want me to say about him? He's just.
I've got an actual reasoning why I chose Henry Cavill.
He's basically just like us.
Yeah, but the thing is,
incredibly. Right? He's familiar with a superhero role, obviously.
So is Ezra Miller. You don't see me fucking casting him as Reed Richards.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a different situation.
Henry Cavill has been the big ass in the DCEU.
So it's a big ass then.
Yeah, well, he has
got a big ass.
Got one of them as well. I'm dummy thick, and I keep wearing down the leather pads on my Witcher armor.
That's mad.
Your reasoning is about to be the same as mine. Is that he's up in the air with DC at the moment?
Yeah,
very much. It would be a proper power move by Marvel.
So even if they don't make him Reed, I think it would be a very sensible decision for Kevin Feige to walk up, put a bag over Henry Cavill's head, chuck him in the back of a van, and then put him in front of the camera. Like,
okay, my choice for a bit of a younger Reed, because usually when I think of Reed Richards, I think of a fairly an older one in his 40s.
Yeah,
what I think.
All of mine are in their 40s.
If you go for a younger Reed, which they like going a bit younger, don't they? Sometimes in the MCU, Jack Quaid as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I think he can get those mannerisms down. We've seen the kind of awkwardness and
that man is
in the bodies.
He is up and coming.
He is. Who else have we got for Reed? Because I chose Brandon Routh as well.
I like that. I really like that choice.
The reason why I chose him, obviously, like Al said, familiarity with superheroes.
Another big
ass. People know him. Yeah, another big ass. Yeah. Is it anyone in the did Christopher Reeve have a big ass? Like, is this a Superman thing? But also, I don't know if anyone's seen like the CW shows, but like he's played that geeky guy, that smart guy as Aidan.
Yeah, he was
and
Ray Palmer.
While I don't particularly think the CW shows are any good, I do think he was good in the role, and I just feel like he's not really doing anything, is he? And he's not an A class like actor, is he? He's not going to be like, and that seems to be the way Marvel hire actors. They don't seem to go for like
they get people.
Whereas DC, Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, they went for the big guys.
Big Ezra Miller.
Fuck off.
But we know that John Krasinski probably isn't going to be.
No, we should say like he's my number one pick. Like he would, but I haven't included him.
I think they missed the mark with this because they've put him in Multiverse of Madness, right? I think it would have been more impactful to put Ewan Griffith back
I agree.
as Mr. Fantastic in that film. Imagine seeing
even Miles Teller.
Nah, I don't know about that.
No, but the man's a talented actor.
Of course, he's a talented actor, but you'd have to bring in.
Be on my fucking tempo.
Duh.
But yeah, they missed the mark with that.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely missed the mark with that.
So my second pick would have been Jamie Dornan of 50 Shades of Grey fame.
Yeah,
I like that.
That is one that's rumored to be.
He's like heavily rumored to
mainly
be the
because
guy.
I want to see Mr. Fantastic's really stretchy cock. But
Oh my god,
that's my no. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's a very versatile actor. He's been in a lot of BBC things.
He is a good actor. So that's a fairly good. For the minute, we're just going. Oh, that's a fairly good choice. Like,
I've got some left field ones. Don't you worry, Ash.
Go on.
No, we'll get to them. But your second pick for Reed?
Right. Some people are like, let's make him not a white man, and I'm completely fine with that. So I've gone with that as well, and I've gone with John Cho. John Cho is Mr. Fantastic. I really like. He has that sort of nature to him. We've seen it when he was Sulu in what's it called? Star Trek. That's the name of the series. But yeah, I think he could fit the role quite well.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I think we've all gone for a race bent one for our last ones.
Yeah, I was just going to say now, like, my third pick is Lakeith Stanfield.
I've stolen that for somewhere else.
And, like, he's just a good actor, isn't he?
Actually, no. Honourable mention, I did think about stealing that for Johnny Storm, but then I took it down.
Like, he's just a good actor. He has ridiculous range as an actor. Mm-hmm. And like he uses star power, doesn't he? Like you could put him in the forefront of this team, and he could be like the next sort of Tony Stark of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like I firmly believe Lakeith Stanfield has that charisma, that star power to do it.
So fantastic.
While I don't necessarily agree all the time with race bent characters, like I feel like if it works in a specific scenario, then go for it.
Yes, definitely. If it suits the character, just do it.
And I feel like 100% he suits that character, and I feel like he could really do something as Reed.
Yes, 100%.
So my final pick was Rahul Coley of Mike Flanagan fame.
Oh,
he's in a lot of his stuff. He's in Midnight Ass, obviously. Not Midnight Mass, Midnight Ass. He's in The Haunting of Bly Manor. I think he's tied to another Mike Flanagan project at the moment. Just a very, very good actor. He's incredibly good. Does a very convincing American accent, despite the fact he's from Croydon, I believe.
Croydon.
Man's bugging.
I'm sorry to everyone who is from Croydon.
Rahul Coley is in fact from those ends.
No.
So I just think he'd be very good. That man basically just looks like an Indian John Krasinski as well. So
obviously there's one choice we could have gone for as a joke, but he is already in the MCU. And if you know, you know.
I don't actually. I don't know who you're.
Randall Park.
Oh, Randall Park, yeah. He's Agent Jimmy Woo.
He is.
I'm
surprised you didn't get that joke.
There's another layer to that joke, because he's Jim.
Yeah, that was the whole joke.
That's the joke, Al. Are you okay? Where did we find this guy, Ash?
I mean, we are the same person. Come on, man.
No, they just walked out around the back of like a corner shop and just waved a dream catcher, and then I just came running along. That's how they got me into the studio.
The studio being your bedroom, and in the
hospital. Yes. So
the virtual studio.
Who's your last pick, Ash?
I am completely done with mine.
Oh, you? So you move on to Sue Storm.
Because a lot of people keep nicking my shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could have had the same guys. Like, it doesn't matter anyway, because it all comes down to the final definitive list.
Oh god.
But Sue, I feel like we should kind of speed this up a little bit, so I'm just going to quick fire the three at the same time, okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
Lily James.
Yeah.
Anna de Armas.
Oh. That one's out of left field.
It is left field.
Anna de Armas is a very pretty lady.
She is, isn't she? I'd kiss her face.
Exactly.
I'd brush her hair, and I'd make her a bowl of soup when she's ill.
Mm-hmm.
We respect women on this podcast.
Yes, we do.
We do.
We just don't respect each other.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, thoughts?
Well, the first two very conventional.
Yeah.
Obviously, just blonde women. But like, they're both very good actors.
Yeah.
I have no qualms. I think Anna de Armas also a fantastic actor, but
Yeah.
not the conventional pick. But
I like that.
Same time, I don't like it. I don't not like it. Sorry, I do like it.
Right, I've got one pick, and it's for the younger team because
Mhm.
you guys are talking about like the conventional picks, and it's Dakota Fanning to go alongside.
But I haven't heard of her in years.
She's a similar age to Jack Quaid. She's 2 years off him, I think. And
I haven't heard of her in quite a while. Like I remember watching her in War of the Worlds when she was a duck. Like
yeah,
I'm just thinking of Twilight. I am.
For our non-Welsh listeners, like duck just means small person.
It does.
That's my monkey man.
No, right. Yeah, and
my ones. Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, I like that one. I really do like that one.
Maya Hawke.
Very good actress. Maya Hawke again. I like that.
Very current. Maya Hawke and America Ferrera.
Maya Hawke's dad's a good-looking man.
Maya Hawke's dad is a good-looking man.
But can we talk about a casting you were thinking about just because of the casting that you could have done for Johnny?
Oh, yeah, because I put Maya Hawke, obviously Stranger Things, and then I thought, who else is in Stranger Things? Natalie Dyer. Who looks like Natalie Dyer? Timothy Chalamet.
Are you still on this?
Come on, if you're casting siblings, they're perfect.
They do look similar.
They do look very similar.
They're identical, not similar.
They're not identical.
They're the same person. Have you ever seen them in the room together?
I actually don't know.
Exactly.
Googling it as we speak.
Was Natalie Dyer in Dune?
What's Natalie Dyer?
But yeah, I think
I'm liking all these castings so far.
I think I feel like so far though we've both just gone for two conventional, one a bit out there.
Yeah,
and my one was a bit out there because it's just I haven't.
She's not been in anything in years.
Yeah,
Johnny.
I didn't have a Johnny because everyone kept
everyone.
I have got a list here of Liv, my girlfriend, and she's also done a list, and I might just nick some of hers.
Yeah, whap it in, get it on.
Let's have a look.
I think I've stolen a few of his Johnnies.
I think she went for a younger team as well. I think. So we had. Oh, she did Saoirse Ronan as Sue Storm, and Logan Lerman as Reed.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I really like that.
So we going on to Johnny's.
Yeah. So my first pick, I think he's going to be cast. I think it's Joe Keery.
Yeah,
he's gonna be Johnny, isn't he?
Sexy man Steve.
He's on my list.
Steve, and I went to put him on my list.
Steve the Harrington, like.
I went for Ben Hardy, who, if you're not familiar, he was Angel in X-Men Apocalypse.
Yes.
And also was in EastEnders.
He was.
You familiar with that?
Peter Beale in EastEnders for a stretch of time.
He's also just another good-looking man, isn't he?
He was also in Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't he? He was.
Well, yes, he was. I forgot about that.
One of the members of Queen.
When was he?
He was Roger Taylor.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't Brian May, and he wasn't Freddie Mercury.
Freddie, you're gay.
I think I might be bisexual. Freddie, you're gay.
That line fucking kills me.
Remember, that is has best editing.
It does.
And then my last pick, which is the most left field one, Arvan Jogia. Or Avon Jogia, however you pronounce it.
I don't know who he is.
He's Leon in the new Resident Evil.
Oh yes, him.
He's also Beck from Victoria.
Yes.
And the reason for him is man's just charismatic.
So
he's just very charismatic, and I feel like for Johnny you need someone like that.
Yeah.
Especially because he's going to be the clown, isn't he, out of the team?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So obviously I had Joe Keery on my list as well. Another Stranger Things alumnus on my list. Good old Deacon Montgomery.
I like that choice as well. That I feel like you just cast anyone from Stranger Things in something. And
They're just current at the moment. That's the thing.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna pick fucking Dustin as Johnny then.
Gaten Maserat. But
Be mine for the young team.
but that's the thing, because he's in Stranger Things. He is the bad boy.
Yes,
The bad boy, and
bad boy. He was also the Red Ranger in
a film that
2017.
Film you like a lot.
I do. I really like the 2017 Power Rangers.
So yeah, I just think he'd suit it very lot. Bad boy.
I got a Power Rangers theme stuck in my head now. Thanks.
My last one is David Castaneda of he's in Umbrella Academy. He plays Diego.
I won't lie, I have no idea who that is.
I know.
Yeah,
I
know
haven't seen Umbrella Academy.
Well, he plays Diego in the Umbrella Academy.
Not the only Umbrella Academy person we're going to be seeing in this. Liv had the idea of Dev Patel as Johnny.
I feel like he comes.
He's
up
on
somewhere.
my list.
He's on your list.
Somewhere.
He's somewhere.
But yeah.
So, do you want to move over to the thing?
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah! Let's go! He did it!
He was pretty perfect, wasn't he?
He was
fucking great.
I just remember the scene in that film where like he's going to jump off the bridge, and the guy comes up to also jump off the bridge, looks at the thing, and just turns around and leaves.
Oh,
we was ready for them films, but the first one is actually pretty good.
I really enjoy it.
It's not a good film, but it's
got
a fun
that
film.
Fantastic Four vibe to it, which is just at the cheese.
I'd like to clarify that was a joke, and Michael Chiklis isn't actually on my list because I know he's in the first one.
For my list, I feel Ash doesn't know who my last pick was for this. You do well, because when we were brainstorming, Ash had gone to bed by this point.
Mm-hmm.
But my first one. This first one's strictly in a scenario of if we are skipping the origin story and we're going straight to the powers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Judge.
Yes, he has a very nice voice.
Yeah, he's physically imposing as well. So like you could, and that's strictly in a scenario where we're skipping the origin story and they're going
it would seem that they might be doing.
They might be doing it
if the rumors about She-Hulk are anything to go by, and that Jason Segel is going to show up as Seagal, not Segel. If that man's going to show up as the Thing.
I think you mean Steven.
Well, no, it's not Steven Seagal.
I spent a good 10 minutes thinking that's what you were on about when we spoke about it.
Remember the video of him doing karate and he's just beating up a bunch of kids?
Yep.
My second pick, Robbie Amell.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's not too old as he's a physically imposing guy.
Done superhero stuff before.
Yeah,
he has.
You could look at him and think, he's a superhero, like, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And then my third one, Ash, you sitting down.
Okay,
so like, I know we had a rule where like if they've been in the MCU we can't really consider them, but like I cheated because this guy's voice is only in the MCU, not his appearance.
Go on.
Do you know who it is by that?
Oh no.
I've gone for Vin Diesel.
Oh no.
Family, man.
Family.
And like the reason why is because I couldn't really think of another person.
That's fair. Right.
Like,
mine. We're gonna show up another Umbrella Academy person, and it's Tom Hooper from Umbrella Academy.
Big
all
fella.
part of the same team that I was saying earlier. So Jack Quaid, Dakota Fanning, and Tom Hooper, because he looks a very similar age to all of them again, and he's a big man. Big man.
He is a big man.
And he's used to being big man.
He is used to Umbrella Academy. He's used to being big man in prosthetic suit as well.
He is, very much so.
Is that your only one?
And Liv had given me John Boyega.
Ooh,
I like that one.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
Liv has been on the ball with these.
Another man.
Get rid of you, Ash, and get Liv on. Yeah, she used to know more.
Fine. Yeah,
another man from those ends.
Yeah. I feel like he needs something after Star Wars as well, because like Star Wars done him dirty.
He's good.
Star Wars did do him dirty.
He did do him dirty, and he is not like hid from that fact.
So then there's my three: Alan Ritchson of Titans fame, and
I like that.
The current Jack Reacher series, big fella. My next one, the man of 1,000 voices himself, Charlie Hunnam.
I love him. He's great. He's a very good actor.
Very good actor. Very funny.
Very funny.
Yeah, I like him, but I'm still hell bent that I just want him to play Green Arrow.
Yes, he would be a very good Green Arrow.
I just want him as Green Arrow. I've wanted him for years. DC got their head up their ass and they want to make him in the film.
You were lost long before Barry White walked in.
What a good film. If nobody's seen it, watch The Gentleman.
So I need to watch it.
Watch it. I watched it the other day.
I keep seeing the scene with Colin Farrell where he's
in the chip shop.
And I'm like, I laugh at it every time. It's such a good scene. And I'm gonna watch it. I need to watch it.
There are many more funny scenes than that as well.
My final pick then is another one of Mike Flanagan's regulars. It's Oliver Jackson Cohen. He was also in The Invisible Woman. No man again.
Yeah, Invisible Woman.
I did this. I did this today. The other day when we were brainstorming. I made that exact mistake. The Invisible Man. He was the titular Invisible Man in The Invisible Man.
Well, how could you cast someone you can't see?
Well, I mean, they cast John Cena as Peacemaker.
Oh, we're on a roll.
I had to throw it in as dead as it is.
Right. No.
God, I hope nobody stuck around this long because they're hearing all this shit.
Doctor Doom.
What do you mean? This is Doctor Doom. I think I'll go first.
You want to go first? All right.
I do.
Go first.
My first pick was another Star Wars guy, Diego Luna, good old Cassian Andor himself.
I kinda can see that.
I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. But
we do need to quick fire these, don't we?
But I'm not picking it based on Star Wars. I'm picking it based on his performance in Narcos Mexico because he's very good in that show.
You guys are lucky because I only have one pick for Doctor Doom, and that's in my definitive. You're not knowing about this one.
My next one was obviously classic big bad man. Just very good at playing a villain. Incredibly typecast. And then the last one, Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones, plays Littlefinger.
I really do like that one.
Once again, very good at playing
a villain.
Just a bit of a nasty man.
Apart from my Vin Diesel pick, which was purely thrown in because I couldn't think of another person. I feel like that hasn't been a bad choice yet.
Okay, strap in then.
Right.
Go for it, Ash, shoot.
No, because I need to read out all of them.
It's in his definitive pick.
Yeah, okay.
Which is missing two people because I really couldn't think of people to go along with these, but I know I want them.
My first pick for Doctor Doom is Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Mm-hmm. I like
Good
it.
actor.
I like it. I like it.
My second pick,
I like it, Picasso.
I went for this guy because of his range and the fact that he's like both the most beautiful man and ugliest fucking man.
Here we go.
Cillian Murphy. Like that man, I don't know how he looks like a fucking Gucci model and then looks like a random homeless man you'd see on the side of the street at the same time. Like it's mental. He confuses me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'd be good as Doctor Doom. And my last one, Dev Patel.
There he is.
Hey, there he is.
He's back.
See, there was one choice we were talking about and I kind of liked, and it was John Hamm.
Yeah, that was the thing. I put him in my list, and then I was like, everyone else is really young, and someone made the point of saying, like, isn't Doctor Doom and Reed around the same age?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's why, if Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh, Lakeith Stanfield, and none of them are as old as John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm's pushing it.
John Hamm would be quite good as Mr. Fantastic, I think, as well.
And then obviously we've got to do the obligatory mention of the man that's probably going to get cast in the role, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes,
I mean, I'd like him. I don't care. But again, he's typecast, isn't he?
He has. Yeah. Shouldn't have done so well as Gus, should he?
Oh, do you want to move over to yours, Ash?
Right. What, my definitive?
Yeah, and then I'll go for mine.
Okay. For Reed Richards. Right, I haven't got Sewa Johnny, but for Reed Richards, Robert De Niro, Ben Grimm, Joe Pesci, and you ready? You ready? Doctor Doom, Martin Scorsese.
Oof, Madon.
Oof, Madon.
Oof, Maron.
So that is my definitive pick, and if they don't pick it, I'm rioting.
That's so good. Oh,
Can you imagine Joe Pesci's voice with the Thing's body?
I don't even want to do mine now because that bit was just so flawless.
I can't have done finished.
Go on.
Okay. I've composed, so I think I can for it.
Oof, madame.
Oof, madame. So I think my definitive picks would have been Rahul Coley, America Ferrera, David Castaneda, Alan Richson, and then Diego Luna. Just,
yeah,
I like a pretty ethnic group of fantastic format.
My final picks for Reed, Lakeith Stanfield, Tamara Weave in Sue Storm rather.
That would be a very different casting.
It's because I just wrote down Storm twice on my thing. I didn't write Sue or Johnny. I just wrote Storm for the both of them.
Oh God, that must have been confusing.
Joe Keery for Johnny.
Yeah. What you mean for Sue? I think again the Storms mixed around.
Robbie Amell for the thing.
I can see that.
And then Dev Patel for Dr. Doom.
Yeah. We have actually
we did
that got derailed very quickly, didn't it?
Well, I want to see Joe Pesci as the thing now.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? No.
Wait, I'm trying to think.
You've got Martin Scorsese hell-bent on destroying the MCU. So
I mean, it makes sense. Like, there's layers to this.
There's layers. He's actually thought it out, despite the fact that they're all probably going to be dead before that film comes out. Let's be real.
Right.
Oh no.
So, do we want to move on to Geekly Confessions?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we do.
You're now tuned in to Geekly Confessions, where these three idiots share some things they may or may not be ashamed of. So sit back, relax, and prepare for some easy listening with Geekly Confessions.
So, this is Geeky Confessions, our little segment where one of us admits or confesses to have not seen, played, read, whatever, and they have to obviously go and do that, and the others will talk about it as well. We'll just talk about it. And it's my turn this week. So my geek confession is I hadn't seen Invincible at all, which I know is heinous.
Ooh.
Shut up! No, go fuck yourself. He's behind you.
So I'm sat here as the resident Invincible expert, being that I've watched it and I've read it all.
Yes,
and all of it, I mean just the mainline comic and then the spin-off shit.
And I watched 2 episodes last night because, again, doing homework the night before Stu.
I rewatched the first episode to refresh myself.
Yes, and I made notes. I don't usually make notes when I watch things, so this is really...
I bought trivia.
Trivia time. My first note I've is Muscly Blue Man Group.
The Mauler twins.
Yes.
Okay. I can bring up a bit of my trivia
and it was also followed by that blue dude reloaded his muscles like Cavill.
Because it's related to the first scene with the Mauler group in them. All of the members of the Guardians of the Globes and the Mauler twins are all played by people who are in The Walking Dead.
Are they?
They are.
That's pretty mad. I didn't notice that.
Ross Marquand is both immortal and he's Aquarius. Lauren Cohen is War Woman. Red Rush is Michael Cudlitz. Darkwing is Lenny James. Chad L. Coleman is Martian Man, and he's both of the Mauler twins.
I didn't know that.
Also, talking about members of the Walking Dead cast, Stephen Yeun was
obviously
in the Walking Dead as well, and he's Mark in this. So there you go. Fun fact: Robert Kirkman wrote both The Walking Dead and Invincible. Just seemed to be a lot of people that like working with Robert Kirkman.
So then there was these parents are insufferable. When you first see them, I'm like, fucking hell. If my parents were like this, I would have left. I would have just
you got
gone.
a big storm coming.
Yeah.
Don't do my man.
And then I went. I wrote, I like Mark, and that was when he stuck up for what's her face?
Amber Bennett. Very different character in the show.
Really?
In the comic, she is a white woman with blonde hair and pretty much just exists to be Mark's girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
I can't feel bad for her in the show.
Like, she gets a lot of development in the show.
Yeah, but she gets done a lot. She gets done dirty really bad, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. She does.
Like, you'll come to see that the more you watch the show, Ash.
Mhm.
But,
yeah. I had already come to the conclusion, and I don't know what I was referencing in this note because I've clearly just forgotten. I don't like Omni-Man. What a dickhead.
Ooh.
That's what I've written.
Ooh.
I can't remember.
Cool, isn't he?
Is he though?
Yeah,
I mean, his powers are cool, but I don't know. I mean,
this is the thing. Rewatching, like, because I know the twists. I know all of the twists. Some of the things that Omni-Man says to Mark in the first episode, they're very foreshadowy of what's going to happen.
I
later in the show.
I kind of know where the show goes anyway, but you see,
like, obviously, I didn't notice it the first time because I'd never read it before I watched it. But rewatching it, it's very like foreshadowy.
Then when he went to go get his suit, I wrote, "Is that Mark Hamill?" Because it sounds a lot like Mark Hamill.
It is Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is in the show.
Yeah. It is Mark. I have another piece of trivia.
Suit dude, go on.
Trivia time. The orange and yellow suit that he tries on the first time in the comics, that shows up again later, worn by a superhero called Bulletproof.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Later again in the comics, Bulletproof takes over from Invincible whilst Mark is out of action.
Oh, that's really... I like that.
He becomes invincible for a short period of time.
Bit of things. And then there was the bit where Mark was talking to his mother, like in the back garden. They were sitting there, and I was like, that gave me Martha Kent vibes. She like the way she cared in that moment. I was like, this is something you'd see in a Superman show. And I've seen a lot of things saying about Invincible and how it's not so much Omni-Man that is the deconstruction of the Superman character, but it's Mark himself because of his ideals and his sort of willpower and determination and wanting to do good. And I was like, I can see this. I can actually see this.
So, in relation to Debbie, a few things have been changed about Debbie from the comics.
Yes.
First of all, she has a job from the get-go.
Oh, does she?
In the comic, she didn't have a job from the get-go. That's pretty much the only change. She's a realtor, which she does become in the comics. It happens, but it happens a lot later. And originally in the comics, all of the money is made by travel books written by Nolan.
Wow.
Because
that's interesting.
Big superhero, fly around the world, fight monsters. He also writes travel books.
That's a nice little detail that I think.
Nice little bit of world building for the comic there.
That's brilliant. I've also put again, I really like Mark from the bit where he just lets that guy hit him, and he's just because he could easily just punch that guy's head off, but he's like, no, that's not the right way to use my powers, and he just lets him hit him.
He's just a really likable protagonist, isn't he?
He is.
Yes, and then to the I love the fly-in as like Invincible when he's flying through the city. Great, I love that moment. Then it gets to the moment where big bloodbath,
the big doo-doo.
Yes, I've written Omni-Man is a menace.
He's a menace.
I like that.
Read into that as you will.
I like it. No.
And these guys are bad at fighting. They are shit at fighting. Like, you'd think the people tasked with protecting our world would know how to defend themselves. They look like they have no idea how to use their powers in any meaningful way.
It's more the fact that you'll come to learn this is that Omni-Man is pretty much the peak.
There are some things that they do. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
But compared to just regular superheroes, Omni-Man is leagues and leagues better.
Yes, you can tell that because he actually knows how to use his powers well, rather than the others.
That is related to things that will come down the line.
I've also written, why is every superhero in this world incompetent?
Yeah.
And then
it's a nail on the head, but to be fair.
And I've then written another note, which is I really, really like Mark. I don't know what that was in reference to. It's just I really, really like Mark.
Like I said, he's just a likable guy, isn't he?
I've also got a note here about Superman. I've mentioned Superman once. They did the Superman psychology thing where you're not looking for that superhero. Eve does it. So Eve says, "Oh, nobody expects a superhero to be at their school, so they just don't look for it." That's the whole Superman idea: is that the glasses aren't really the disguise. It's the fact that
nobody thinks Superman looks at the Daily Planet.
Yeah, nobody thinks that Superman is walking among us. They think he's just flying around doing his own thing.
Whizzing about, like.
It's a bit sus, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a bit sus. Superman's walking among us.
Among us.
A bit sus.
So in conclusion, Ash, will you be continuing the show?
I shall be, and I also wrote, "Oh look, Hellboy."
That's Clancy Brown.
Is it?
It is.
That
Clancy
makes
Brown.
sense now. And
Mr. Krabs.
But I'll skip through all the multiple things where I wrote, "Can anyone punch through Rexplord's head? Can Omni-Man punch through Rexplord's head? Can Mark punch through Rexplord's head? And can I punch through Rexplord's head?"
This man really doesn't like Jason Mantzoukas.
And then I've also said I like the addition of the cold breath appearing when Hellboy shows up. I can't remember his name, so I just called him Hellboy.
It's Damien something.
No, the classic demon name.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more bits of trivia from the first episode because I didn't watch the first episode.
Trivia time.
Mark is reading a comic book in the first episode. It's called Seance Dog.
Yes, he mentions it, doesn't he?
Fictional comic book, but in the book, it's not called Seance Dog. It's called Science Dog.
Oh, do you think that was a mistake on their part, or do you think it was just they changed it?
It's just a little detail that I noticed. And then the final one is that Mark doesn't get the name Invincible from Nolan in the comic book.
Who does he get it from?
His high school principal at the Reginald Val Johnson High School.
What? What?
That's the name of the high school, the Reginald Val Johnson.
But how does he get it off him?
I think it's to do with like a fight or something. I can't really remember. And
Is it maybe to do with when he let that guy hit him, or when
he
defended Amber? And
I probably should have looked that up, but it would have meant going to my boxes and digging for the comic book and then finding the issue, and then
it's a bit of effort, isn't it?
The professional that I am.
Yeah, we're totally professional.
We are professional, as you could tell by my notes.
But yeah, I think.
Can I hit him?
I think, along with The Boys, that Amazon are just putting out probably the best superhero TV.
Yes,
just
at the moment they are, but
on the market.
Wait for what's the one they're bringing out? Gen V.
I
haven't heard of that one.
There's a college one based on the. It's a spin-off of The Boys.
Oh, is there?
It's like up and coming soups or whatever.
I need to carry on watching The Boys. I finished season 1.
Yes, I finished season 1 as well. And
season 3 is fantastic. Just all I have to say. Just all I have to say. Season 3 is fantastic. The Boys.
Yeah, I will definitely continue with Invincible. A lot of fun. Of fun. So I think that's everything for today. So we got our recommendations. To go through. Anyone want to go first?
Go outside and touch some grass. I've already made that joke in reference to the Nintendo Switch.
But fuck's sake.
That caught me.
It did as well.
That caught me.
My recommendation would be that one of you give me a PSP so I could watch Triple X as well.
Yeah, that everyone.
So, are you actually going to recommend a piece of media for someone to experience? Or?
Someone can play Destiny 2 with me. There you go.
Right, Destiny 2.
Destiny.
I had to.
I could have plugged it with Lenny James.
Right. So I've been talking about Superman a little bit during Invincible. So my recommendation is actually a comic book, which is For the Man Who Has Everything. It's written by Alan Moore. It's a Superman comic. It was also a Justice League animated episode. It's really good. I don't want to go into it too much, but it involves like a dream world that Superman gets trapped in. It's really, really good. Alan Moore really knows how to do Superman well. Go and check it out. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
I'm gonna go left field here because I'm just gonna recommend an album or a band to listen to.
Because you are the music man, and
I am
coming down our lane.
Like
I
feel like
take that in any other way.
He's sing us the song "You're the Piano Man."
No. So I'm gonna recommend a band from Finland. They're called Blind Channel, and
Ooh.
they've recently released an album called Lifestyles of the Sick and Dangerous. And if anyone watched Eurovision last year they were on Eurovision, but like they released an album.
I remember that actually. Yeah,
they've done a song called Dark Side, which I think you know, Ash, because I think I've shown you it. But
yes,
yeah, they describe their style as violent pop. They're not quite metal, but then they're obviously not quite rock. They're kind of like in the void there. But yeah, I've been listening to them a lot lately, and it's a pretty good album, and like I'd highly recommend it.
So
that's a super interesting pick. I like that.
If you all do your homework in one go, as we all would like to do, chuck on the music, play Destiny 2, and then read the comic in the load screens.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a perfect Thursday.
He's just optimized life.
I've optimized life. There we go.
There you go. I think that's everything for today. So I've been Ash.
I've been Alex.
I've been a clown.
And this has been Cineménage à Trois, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye, everyone.
Dabo.
Bye.
Dabo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cineménage. Oh, fuck off!